Last night we told you about 10-year-old Philip Guzman walking around Corozal town. He told police that he lives somewhere in the Hollywood area in Ladyville.
Even worse, the schoolgirl claimed that when she was 6, he had sexually abused her.
I see my daughter on the bed and my husband is on top of her.
After she allegedly used a hot clothing iron to burn a 2-year-old baby.
There are lingering questions about the tragic death of a 4-year-old girl from Roaring Creek Village. In the other cases, sexual abuse against a minor, the child in question was reportedly the victim of a prolonged period of sexual abuse. A primary school student is killed on the Western Highway. A cop is charged for sexually abusing a minor. There are lingering questions about the tragic death of a 4-year-old girl from Roaring Creek Village.
12-year-old Brittany Jones, a Standard 5 student of Trinity Methodist School, is missing.
A despicable crime. A 4-year-old child has been raped. What makes the offense even more sickening is that the victim is a 5-year-old girl.
At the age of 6, I was raped, and I still remembered what happened to me, and that what happened to me, I never told my mom.
But in this instance, the victim is a young boy. A 13-year-old minor has accused a man almost twice her age of sexual abuse. What's even more disturbing is that the accused is a police officer.
This youth seemed literally dazed as police dragged him from the crowd and placed him in the back of a police pickup to be carted off to the police station.
One of the police officer, he grabbed me from off of my shirt and he just pulled me and...
There are 2 heinous crimes against children to report tonight.
At age 15, I went on a family trip with one of my close friends, and that was where her uncle raped me on that trip.
When Love News arrived on the scene just after 9 o'clock this morning, Dejan Martinez lay mortally wounded in the middle of the feeder road.
She claimed that last December and again in February, she had been fondled by her stepfather. A very disturbing case of sexual assault has been reported by a teenager who ran away from home.
Last night we told you about 10-year-old Philip Guzman. The child was taken into the Corozal police station by a transport officer who found him walking around Corozal town. He told police that he lives somewhere in the Hollywood area in Ladyville. Walking around Corozal town. Found him walking around Corozal town. Lives somewhere in the Hollywood area in Ladyville.
Died as a result of child abuse. It is also alleged that Idalia's stepfather was involved in the frequent abuse of the young child.
The shocking story of a female teacher at Sadie Vernon High in Belize City who was accused of punching a male student.
Jamelia was sold by her mother in Belize when she was 11 years old to a woman who eventually brought her to live in Clovis.
My daughter is half naked and my husband is naked, and he's moving up and down on her.
But it is an alarming case because the man, Wilhelm Leslie Jr., was allegedly found in bed at about midnight on Friday with the child, who is now 13. A 9-year-old student of Belize City who told the cops that on July 4th he left his father's home and went to a house on Dean Street where a man he knows only as Mr. sodomized him.
I felt like I didn't trust my mom. I used to say that if I tell her, she might do me something. I was afraid.
2 young boys, one in Belize City and one in Belmopan, reported to police that they were sexually violated by older men. The child told police in the presence of his mother that the perpetrator had been having sex with him since April of 2009 when he was 6 years old.
At the crack of dawn on Sunday morning, Frank Usher, a minor, was shot and killed.
At the age of 6, I was raped, and I still remembered what happened to me.
I went in a downward spiral.
I never told my mom.
Went to a place where I didn't even imagine I would have been.
I felt like I didn't trust my mom.
3 men and a woman are expected to be arraigned on Thursday for the senseless murder of 14-year-old Helen Yu.
Turned 8 years old recently and was a happy child with a full life ahead.
In other crimes, San Pedro police are investigating a report that a young boy was sodomized. It is disturbing enough that a grown man sexually abused the young boy, but what's worse is that the child is mentally challenged.
I used to keep it to myself, and then I used to say I was a worthless person.
That was the turning point in my life where I went in a downward spiral. I started to self-destruct and